Do currently have exam on today too?
Yeah, yeah. Now, when a cloud consumer asks for storage service, then we will be providing him with storage service in storage service that you can see in AWS Management Console here. These are different types of storage services provided by AWS, Amazon Web Services. Now, let us discuss each and every storage today. Let us look overview of each storage, how this works. First one is Amazon S3. When we get into S3, here 3SS stands for Simple Storage Service. Now, this is a object service and we'll be using buckets here. This we'll be discussing this week. It provides high scalability, data availability, security, and performance. Now, this allows customers of all sizes and industries to use it and to store data and to protect any amount of data in this. So that's why we use this S3 service. Now, another service here is EFS. This EFS stands for Elastic File Systems. Amazon EFS provides a simple, scalable, elastic file system for Linux-based workloads for use with AWS cloud services. And it is built to scale on demand to petabytes. Now, you can see here, we can data sync, we can backup, we can do documentation. For all the file systems, if a cloud consumer requires a file system, then we will be using this Amazon Elastic File System. Here, by clicking on Create File System, we can create Elastic File System. Now, this EFS, Amazon EFS, is a scalable, elastic, and cloud native NFS file system. So, Amazon EFS is fully managed service that requires no changes to your existing applications and tools. We don't require to change our things. And EFS is a regional service storing data within across multiple availability zones. This provides us with high availability and durability. Amazon EFS is well suited to support a broad spectrum of use cases from highly parallelized scale out workloads that require the highest possible throughput. So here you can see you have to just get into service, and if you require a file system to be provided, then you have to get into this elastic file system. This provides us with high availability and durability. Now, the third one here is FSX, Amazon FSX. This FSX is of two types. One is for Lustre and other one is for Windows File Server. Now, let us discuss the first one, that is Amazon FSX for Lustre. This is generally used to uh, launch a file system, launch and run feature-rich and highly performant file systems with just few clicks. Now, as you can see here, there are two types of FSX, that is Amazon FSX for Windows File Server and Amazon FSX for Lustre. Here, Amazon FSX for Lustre is a fully managed file system that is optimized for computing intensive workloads such as high performance computing, machine learning, and media data processing workflows. Now, many of these applications require the high performance and low latencies of scale out parallel file systems. Amazon FSX for Lustre is integrated with Amazon S3. All the services here are integrated among one another. So Lustre, Amazon FSX for Lustre is pre-integrated with Amazon S3, Simple Storage Service. Now you can automate using this. You can automatically copy data from S3 to FSX for Lustre, and we can work on high amount of workloads. So this enables us with high performance. I hope everyone is clear with this. This was Amazon FSX for Lustre. And the second one is Amazon FSx for Windows file servers. This provides a fully managed native Microsoft Windows file system, so we can easily move our Windows based applications that require file storage to AWS. If we have some file systems, then we can easily, using this Amazon FSx for Windows file server, we can easily move our Windows based applications that require file storage to AWS. Now, with Amazon FSx, we can launch highly durable and available Windows file system. These file systems can be accessed from thousands of compute instances using the industry standard SMB protocol. And Amazon FSx generally eliminates the typical administrative overhead of managing Windows file servers. Now, this was all about Amazon FSx. So there are, this is also a type of storage service related to a file system. There are two types of Amazon FSx. One is Amazon FSx for Lustre, and the second one is Amazon FSx for Windows file systems. Now, so far we discussed the three of the storage services provided by storage service. Now, let us move on to the fourth one, that is S3 Glacier. Now, Amazon S3 Glacier, here S3 as well stands for Simple Storage Service, and Amazon S3 Glacier is a secure, durable, and extremely low cost storage service. Mainly use it for data archiving and long-term backup. If we require to hide some data, then we can use Amazon S3 Glacier and we can hide data. And apart from this is low in cost storage, and this is secure and provides us with flexible storage for data backup as well. And this is designed to deliver almost 99.999% durability that provides comprehensive security and capabilities that can help even the most different requirements. Using Amazon S3 Glacier, we can store any type of data. We can hide that and we can use this for backup. This is highly flexible, highly durable, and using this costs us very less. That is, you can store data for as little as $0.004 per gigabyte. This as well is charged per month. To keep low costs, Amazon S3 Glacier provides three options for access to archives from few minutes to several hours. These are the three services provided by Amazon S3. One is to create vaults. The second one is to set data retrieval policies. The third one is to set event notification. So we use this Amazon S3 Glacier when we require high performance, when we require data archival, when we require data durable, and if our budget is low. As you can see, Amazon S3 costs nearly $0.0004 per hour per gigabyte. Now, this was all about Amazon S3 Glacier, and the fifth service provided here is Storage Gateway. So far, all these services are only related to data archiving, data retrieval, data durability. So this Amazon Storage Gateway is a hybrid storage service, and this enables our own premises application to seamlessly use AWS cloud services. Using this, we can start this, and using this, we can access all our applications easily using AWS. Now, this has three services as Amazon Glacier 3 provides. This too provides us with three different types of things. One is enabling cloud workloads. Second one is backup and archive to AWS. The third one is tight storage in AWS. Now, We can use this service for backup and archiving, disaster recovery, cloud data processing, storage tidying, and migration. We can connect our applications to a service through a virtual machine and a hardware gateway. That's why it is called as AWS Storage Gateway. Now, apart from these, uh, the gateway connects AWS storage services such as Amazon S3, S3 Glacier, and Amazon EBS Elastic, providing storage for files, volumes, and virtual tapes in AWS. Everything can be stored using this gateway. Using this gateway, we can access all the storages we have stored so far in the storage service. Now, the service includes a highly optimized data transfer mechanism with the bandwidth management, automated network resilience, and affected data transfer, along with a local cache for low latency on premises access our most active data. So using this, we can also create a cache. Cache is a simple storage. We can access a cache. So it generally AWS Storage Gateway is used when we require a gateway to all our storages we stored. So this was the fifth service provided by a storage service. Now, the last one is AWS backup. So, here, AWS backup centrally manages and automates backups across AWS service. For a for a normal backup, we'll be using for a normal backup, we'll be using what Amazon Gateway. If you want a complete backup for disaster recovery or for data loss, then we will be using this AWS backup. Here you can see you have an option create backup plan. It how it works. We first create a backup, we create a plan. This is charged, then we assign what type of backup we require, and then we manage. And here you can see the benefits. First benefit is centrally managed backups. This automate the backup process. If we link this backup Amazon backup service to a storage service Amazon S3 or to an instance, then you'll be if you suppose that if you lost your data, then this backup will be done automatically. Now, let me give you a scenario. Let us assume that our data center is in US East 1A. Let us suppose that there was a tornado and all our data center got disrupted or damaged. Then using this backup feature, AWS backup feature, we can automatically backup all the things we stored in our storage service. Apart from these, we have here backup compliance, backup activity monitoring. We can also monitor how to backup and what to backup. So here, this was all about storage service. This is dashboard of AWS backup, as you can see here. This gives us, we can here manage backup plans, create an on-demand backup, we can restore a backup. You'll be providing all the backups you created here, you can view them. Now, that was all about storage service. So out of all these services, one we use the most is S3 service, Amazon S3, Amazon Simple Storage Service. S3 are it is object service. Here we will be using buckets. Buckets are nothing but object. We'll be discussing it, and we use this because it is high scalable. It provides data availability. It provides security, and it provides us with high performance. Now, S3 service is scalable. Can anyone define what scalable is? Scalable means we can increase or decrease our storage. Here in this case, scalability refers to storage. We can increase or decrease our storage according to our requirement in minutes. So that's why we use this Amazon S3. Apart from scalability, it provides us with data availability, security, and performance. Now, this allows customers of all types and all industries, and any amount of data can be stored and protected using this Amazon S3 service. So as you can see here, while you get into storage service, then you'll be clicking S3 simple storage service, then you'll be redirected to this dashboard of Amazon S3. Here you can create bucket, you can do batch operation, you can access analyzer for S3. We can view all the things. Generally, this is used to host website. We'll be discussing tomorrow. We'll be discussing what S3 is, how to create a bucket, what should be uploaded in a bucket. Let me show you that. While you create bucket, you'll be asked a bucket name, which should be unique. You'll be asked a region. You'll be asked for setting, configuring operations. All this will be looking tomorrow. So yes, so far we discussed storage service and different types of services provided in this storage service. I hope everyone is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now.
No.
So yes, this was a brief about overview of storage service. In this storage service, we have different types of services like S3 simple storage service, which is object service, which provides us with data availability and scalability, security, and performance. And the second one is EFX, elastic file systems. This will be using for Linux systems. And the third one is FSX. There are two types of FSX. One is FSX for Lustre, and the second one is FSX for Windows file system. This is used according to the requirement, and this is to a highly available. And the fourth one here is S3 Glacier. Amazon S3 Glacier. This provides us with high availability, and Amazon S3 Glacier is integrated with S3 service, simple storage service. And the fourth one here is storage gateway. This gateway is used when we require to access all our stored services in the storage service. And the last one is AWS backup, that we create a backup plan according to our requirement, and this provides with the automatic backup process. Now when we require a simple backup, then we can just create a backup using a storage gateway. If we require a high-end backup, then we will be using AWS backup. This storage service is highly scalable, provides us with high performance, and apart from these, we get durability. And here S3 Glacier is a low cost one. We are charged like $0.004 per hour per gigabyte. So that was an overview of a storage service. This storage service satisfies both the platforms as a service and software as a service. When a cloud consumer asks us for a storage, then we get into Amazon console, AWS management console, and here in console you'll be having this storage service, and according to the requirement of cloud consumer, we'll be accessing this storage service and providing him. If he asks for a storage service that requires high scalability, then we'll be using S3. We'll be providing him a storage service. If he asks a file system that is related to Linux, then we'll be providing him using EFS as a service. And if he asks for Lustre or Windows type of system, we'll be providing him with FSX. And if he asks if his budget is low, And if you want a high durable type of storage service, then we cloud providers will be providing him with a service S3 Glacier through Cloud Connector. And if we want to access all the stored services, then we'll be creating a storage gateway for all his stored services and providing him. And if we requires a high end backup, then we'll be using AWS backup, and we'll be creating a backup plan for him, and we'll be providing him. So I hope everyone is clear so far with all the services provided in a storage service. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. So yes, that was all about storage service provided in Amazon Web Services. There are 212 services, and out of those 212, storage are the services related to storage are these 6 services. So yes, that was all about the overview of storage service in AWS. Uh, Yesterday I told you to create a virtual private cloud and link them to EC2 instance. I hope everyone texted me that. So yes, not only in storage, if you have any doubts related to a compute service, that is EC2, or a networking and content delivery, that is VPC, you can ask me now. Do you have any doubts?
No.
Okay, then that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll be discussing Amazon completely about Amazon S3, that is a simple storage service. We'll be looking how to create a bucket, what are different types of resources in the bucket, what is S3. So yes, thank you. Bye.